All right, you guys. Sorry. Unit 4, Lesson 2 homework. Let's get right into it. We want to use this area model to calculate 42 times 13. So let me go ahead and let me set up my area model. And I guess the first thing you really should be thinking about is the factors and the placement value of where things are. So you can go ahead and break up those two, the two variables or the two numbers that we're dealing with. In this case, it's 42 times 13. So you want to think, how can I break up 42? Well, I know I got a 4 in the tens place and I got a 2 in the ones place. So let's go ahead and do that. I want us to start thinking about placement value when it comes to when we're doing multiplication, especially when we're dealing with area models and when we deal with partial products and stuff. Placement value is going to be very important. So you need to recognize that when this 4 is in the tens place, it actually, represents 40, So now let's break up that 13. We can break it up with 10 and a 3 because we got a 3 in the ones place, a 1 in the tens place. All right, so now I got my area model set up. So let's go ahead and start knocking out these boxes. Let's think about what we would do in this first box. We got two numbers, and what we really want to focus on is where the two numbers meet. Because I don't want you guys to be like, I don't want you to make the wrong decisions as far as knowing what to put in what box and what not to put. So let's think about it. Where does 40 and 10 meet? They both kind of meet right here, right? So in this box, it would be 40 times 10, and 40 times 10, in this case, would be 400. In this box, this is where the 2 and the 10 meet. All right, so in this box, you would do 2 times 10, and that equals 20. And now, in this box is where the 3 and the 40, they cross, right here. So let's go ahead and do that. 3 times 40 equals 120. I hope we're gonna be doing a lot of work with our multiplication tables. I want you guys to feel strong about doing the multiplication stuff. In this last box, this is where the 2 and the 3 meet. Like they come together like that. Boom. So that's what you'll put in your last box. In this case, it's 2 times 3, which equals 6. Are we done? No, we ain't done yet. We didn't get an answer, right? How do we get our answer? We got to add up the boxes. Let's get it. All right, so we got 400 plus 120 plus 20 plus 6. And y'all shouldn't have any trouble adding this up. 6 in our ones place. 2 plus 2 equals 4 in our tens place. And 4 plus 1 equals 5. So our answer would be 546. All right. Let's go to our next problem, which is a lot similar. Very, 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 very similar. Except, I'm sorry. This is actually a word problem, which is great because we love word problems. And when we get them, we never rush. We don't microwave our word problems. We take our time, and y'all know how we do. We stir in with the big pot, okay? So let's do our close reading strategies. The first time we're going to read this is just going to be for the gist. I challenge you like I always challenge you in class. Read it this first time. Really focus on reading it, but flip the page over and tell me about what you just read. All right, so we're going to do that now. Charles read 11 books over the winter. All of the books were in the same series and had 324 pages. Okay, I'm going to flip my page over. All right, Charles, he read a certain amount of books. All of the books were in the same series, and they had a certain amount of pages. That's how I want you guys to, when I start talking about reading for the gist, like the first time you're reading it, I don't even want you to focus on the numbers. I want you to be able to just tell me about the story itself. What's happening, okay? You can plug in the numbers later. Don't even focus on the numbers. Think about it like it's a story, and you kind of just want to say the main idea or the gist of what's going on. So basically, Charles read a bunch of books. All of the books were together in a series, and they got a certain amount of pages. So we're trying to figure out the total number of pages. So let's think about it. And let's read it for the second time so we can get our important information, our key information. In this case, what I'm thinking, and I hope you agree with me, 11 books is very important. Let me see. The amount of pages, 324 pages. And the fact that they're in the same series kind of lets you know that you're going to have like a certain amount of books and a certain amount of pages. And you want to figure out the total of how everything comes together. So in this case, hopefully you've got your key information down. Now we're ready to cook, because our key information is what? Our ingredients. You can't cook without your ingredients. So like you do on the test, you write down, I'm actually going to do it now so I can, I can model what I'm asking. But y'all should know by now, important information, 11 books. I'm just going to write it small in the corner. 11 books. 324 pages. Pages. I'm going to write per book. Okay? You probably can't even read that. But basically, y'all, we got 11 books, 324 pages each. What do y'all think we got to do? What type of math operation? If you're thinking multiplication, I'm with you. Ha ha! Ha ha! Let's multiply. Y'all know I'm silly. Okay. So let's go ahead and multiply 11 times 324. So in this case, let's go ahead and set up, because the problem does ask us to use the area model. All right. How could we possibly break up 11 to make it easier to deal with? All right. In place value wise, you got a 1 in the ones place, and you got a 1 in the tens place. Okay, so that 1 in my ones place, that's easy. Now that same 1 in the tens place, it doesn't just represent 1. It's got to be multiplied by the place that it's in. Okay, so if it's in the tens place, it's 1 times 10. So we got our 10 and our 1, that's our 11. Our 11 is set up. Now, let's think, how can we break up 324? Let's think of the place value. Where are each number and what do they represent? All right, so 324. In my hundreds place, I got a 3. So 3 times 100. Let's see here. We'll do that here. 300. And we got a 2 in the tens place. So it's not just a 2. It's 2 times 10, which represents 20. And now in our last place, it's a 4 in the ones place. Okay? So 4 times 1 give you 4. All right, so you want to break it down by the placement value, guys. You got to think about that. All right, so now I think we know what to do, right? We got to fill out our area model. In this first box is where our 310 meet. So y'all think about it. 3 times 1 equals 3. And then you can count the zeros. Oh, let me write the whole thing. 300 times 10. I know that's small, but all right, 300 times 10. You should know that's 3,000. Let's go ahead and stay in this row. 300 times 1 equals 300. And then we got in this box, what meets in here? The 20 and the 10 meet. So 20 times 10 equals 200. 20 times 1, that should be pretty easy. Equals 20. And in our last box, here we got where our ones place is. 4 times 10 equals 40. And 4 times 1, obviously, equals 4. I'm sorry. All right, so do we got an answer? Not yet. No, we don't have the answer yet. What do we got to do? If you're thinking we got to add them all up, you're right. That's why you're so smart. That's why I begged for you to be in my class. I was like, ooh, I need... Well, never mind. Let's get into it. Let's go ahead and add all these up. 3,000 plus, we'll do like how we did. 3,000 plus 300 plus 200 plus 20. And make sure that you're lining things up accordingly. Line them up. Placement value is going to be really important in everything that we're doing with multiplication. And even adding these up, you want to make sure they're in the right placement value, or you can easily get the wrong answer. All right, so we got those. Now, plus 40, and then plus 4. So here we go. 4 is the only thing in the ones place. 4. 4 and 2, which is 6. 3 and 2, which is 5. Then we got 3. So our answer is 3,564. All right. And I love area models because it breaks them down into smaller expressions that you can do. Instead of just trying to do the whole thing, like trying to do 324 times 11, it might seem overwhelming if you try and do it all at once. Break them up, fill out your area model, and add those up. You good? All right.